Well, you're really hitting on it now, because this is primarily the reason why I'm involved in this race. Now, there's so many things that I need to point out. Number one, on my website, usrepmore.com, I have the most detailed policing and social reform explanation and platform and position stance. It's a breakdown of precisely what we would need to do to absolutely solve this problem. Now, you started off by saying that the police are racist and they treat black people differently than they do white people. I'm not taking an issue with that, because in many ways what you said is absolutely true. There is systemic racism within our policing operation, within the police department in Minnesota especially. Nobody knows that better than me. I've been persecuted by the police since I was a little kid, and believe me, I have the scars, the physical scars to prove it. I don't want to get into that story now, but there's nobody that knows as much about, there's nobody still left alive that knows as much about policing abuse of authority as I do. But at the same time, we need to be careful with our language. Remember when you said that one of the problems is that Democrats like to paint Republicans as racist? We need to be careful that we're not doing the same thing with the police. The police are operating within a systemically racist system. There's no question about that. You'll get no argument from me. In fact, I'll break down exactly how that's true. At the same time, individually speaking, the police are not made up of a community of racist people. That's not how you become a police officer, by proving that you're willing to be racist and that they let you into their club. That's not how it works. And I just always want to be extra careful to point out a few things about this policing issue. Number one, when we talk about problems with police, we're really only talking about half of the police in the country, because these problems primarily exist in large departments. Most people don't recognize that over 50% of all police departments in the country have less than 12 people as their employees. In other words, they're extremely small departments. You've got a police chief, an assistant, and about 5 to 10 staff members. And that's the entire department. And within those departments, you don't see the same type of systemic problem, because they're local, they operate almost on an independent basis, and they operate to the satisfaction and to the accountability of their community. And by doing that, they avoid the kind of pitfalls and systemic racist, the systemic kind of racist problems that the large departments have.
How about we do, all these companies do like surveys. How about every time you do an interaction with a police officer anywhere in the country, you get a survey. Whether you're in jail, whether you're out, whether you got arrested, whatever. Can't be held against you. Have to make that clear. Whatever you say, was the cop A, B, C, D, and this would give you a database. This cop is right. I don't want to just treat. You can be an asshole and not be a racist. You can be a racist and not be violent. How about we just have the data set, so 5 years from now, this person has had 20 interactions and he's had 20 problems. This person has had 20 interactions and there's been one problem. Well, that might be the cop you want to keep. The guy that's had 20 complaints, they've got physical, maybe they're race, maybe there's something else. The guy that's continually getting into a physical altercation, that's the cop you want to kick. But right now, I don't know who the bad cop is and the good cop is until after I see the video. If there was a survey and a public publication mandatory instantaneously of that survey, so Jack Johnson is a good cop, Rick Petrick as an a-hole, we can know who we want to get rid of. Right now, where's the transparency? And I mean, I buy a thing on Amazon, I get a survey. How is it the fact I get pulled over, I don't get a survey? I go to jail, I don't get a survey. If everybody wants data. Mm-hmm. How about we introduce a data system into policing that's public?
That is a great idea, and the introduction of some type of a data system is part of the platform that I discuss on my website. There are ideas.
Great man, stick a light.
There are ideas like this available to us. This is one thing I want to mention to people. We talk a lot about problems because we have a lot of problems. The reality of our country and our community, our society, is that the solutions to all of our problems have been laid out in detail for generations. Okay? There are nonprofit organizations, non-governmental organizations, various foundations, and you hear about the different think tanks, and these people have nothing but time and money to spend solely dedicated to solving some single problem. They do it all the time and they do it well. The problem in our country has never been coming up with great solutions. A lot of times you hear politicians try to trick you and make you think that the reason why you should elect them is because they're so smart and they have an idea and they have a solution and they're going to get their solution. But the reality is we have solutions. We have them coming out of our ears. What we don't have is the political will to institute and incorporate solutions into real, meaningful policies and reforms. We don't legislate based on solutions. We don't take our solutions to the next level.